Welcome to my tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to create the moving circle task, and while doing that I will also add an extra feature to it and allow you to edit it your way. So first of all you want to do is open MSY and create a directory. You probably know how to do that, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. I've already created the directory and I've written the code. I'm just going to show you the code and explain it to you. Alright, so we're gonna open Visual Studio Code and we're gonna go to open folder, and yeah, this is you can just browse your folder and select folder. That's my folder right there. Okay, we're gonna wait for it to open up. Here it is. So you're probably thinking that you have no idea what this entire code is. Well, I wrote it beforehand and I'm gonna explain it to you so that you can understand it and edit it according to your need. So first of all, we have our library, which is the Splashkit. We're using the Splashkit library. It gives all the codes and stuff. And then we're gonna now this radius here, we have written it with hash defined radius 50. Now what does this mean? Now this is a constant. We're defining a constant that now this means that wherever the word radius comes, when we run the code, switch it with the value 50. So this will be a constant and its value would not never change. If it changes, then it will be a wrong code. It will give an error. So next we have our main function, and inside the main function we have our two variables. Now we have taken the variables with the data type double, as we are talking about 2D functions. By 2D I mean x-axis and y-axis. When we are talking about x-axis and y-axis, I want to move our circle in our screen. So we're going to take the double data type. And next we have color for the circle and for the background. Now when we run our code, the starting color would for the circle would be black and for the background of the screen would be white. As you have set it right there, you can set it to whatever you want, it won't matter. Now this is what I have added to this particular task. This was not needed, but I added it for my own need as I wanted to make it look a bit better. So I've loaded a sound effect by using this function, which can be found on the splashkit.io. Now, what I did here is wrote the name for beep, which you can write whatever you want here, and the file name. Now, the file you need to do is put it over here under sounds. Let's see, it's beep.wav. It should be a WAV file, no other file. It should be a .wav file, otherwise it won't read it. And I wrote it b.wav. Now it is loaded into it, but it won't execute unless I tell it to. So next, but we're gonna go stepwise. So first we're gonna open a window. Now let's say we want the window title to be circle mover by whatever your name is. Here is my name, Aris. And after that we can tell it that it should be 800 by 600, means 800 by x-axis and 600 y-axis. These are its dimensions. This is how big the window is gonna be. And now we're gonna um, give the y and x in the initial. We're gonna initialize it kind of, but it's more of giving it a value and its name. Now y is going to be the height as it's the y-axis, right? So we're gonna write y is equal to screen underscore height. And why this divider slash why we are dividing it by 2? Well, we're gonna come back to it later, as you will understand it better when we execute the code at the end, and I'll tell you that later. And same with x-axis, it's the width of the screen, so we're gonna write screen underscore width and divide by 2. I'll tell you that later. And now we're gonna go and now we want the circle to move along as we press our keys. We don't want it to move just once, so we're gonna use a loop to do that so that it can move infinitely no matter what. So here we're gonna use a while loop and put in not quit underscore requested as a condition, and then when sorry, and we're gonna put inside the while loop we will put loads of if statements Now these if statements are the key features for this code. So first of all, we're going to write key underscore type. You can write any to type a key and it will change its color. Okay, so here what we want to do is write this. This is going to be the same for every code, but here you can write any key on your keyboard you want, and it will still work the same. No other thing. So what you want to do here is you're going to write circle underscore color right here equals random underscore color. Now what this piece of if function says is that when we press the C key, the circle will change its color. Now we could have written like blue here and it would change just and it would swap between blue and black like we said above. But what we want to do is change its color to all colors. So we're gonna write just random underscore color, and we'll change to all colors. Now for background, we're gonna do the same. If key underscore typed, any key you want, I wrote F, background underscore color equals to random underscore color. The starting color will be white, and when you press the F key, it will change its colors. And then we will go to the if. Now we want to put in the sound, right? So we just don't want the sound to be keep beeping the whole time it's executing, the whole time the screen's up, the output screen is up. That would be annoying. So what we want to do is we're gonna say that when the key L is typed, well, you can say any key, of course, play underscore sound underscore F beep. So whenever the key L is pressed, the sound will be played. And now that we're done with that, what we want to tell it is that when we press a certain key, the circle moves, right? That's the main reason for this code. So what we're gonna tell it is key underscore down. When we're moving it sideways, the circle, we're gonna like left and right. We're gonna write key underscore down with if function and right underscore key. You can write any key, of course, and then what we're gonna do is write x as it's moving on x-axis, x equals to x plus 3. Now what this is gonna do, every time we press the right key, it's gonna add 3 to it and it will move to the right side, adjust the positive terminal. And now we want it to move left too, and as it's again in x-axis and it's going left, not down or up, so we're gonna use key underscore down, left underscore key, any key you want, x equals to x minus 3, as left sits the negative terminal of y-axis of this. Now next we have to move it up, right? So when we're moving it up, we're gonna up and down, we're gonna use key underscore up and upper underscore key, any key you wanna use. And we're now moving it on y-axis, so we're gonna use y equals to y plus 3, key underscore up, down underscore key, and y is equals to y minus 3, as down is negative, top is positive. And next, now what is this piece of code for? Just like divided by 2 above, here we're gonna first execute this code and then I shall explain to you what this piece of code after this is for. And of course, in the end, we will use clear underscore screen, background underscore color, fill underscore circle. And this line of code will create the circle and then refresh screen. If we don't use, oops, if we don't use these three pieces of code, it will not work. And of course, return 0 at the end. So let's go ahead and execute this code, shall we? And we're gonna open our terminal, which is MSY. Okay, right, let me just locate my directory. I like to do it this way instead. And we're gonna write cd space. You can write the location of the directory here, but I like to drag and drop it. It's more convenient. And we're gonna write skm clang ++ program.cpp -o and the name of the directory, enter, and that went pretty good. That worked out. And we're gonna try // and the name of the directory. and see. Okay, now what were the keys that we set for changing the color? Okay, C for this circle. See, it's changing its color, it's moving around perfectly, it's not going out of the window from anywhere, and it also spawned it, and if you noticed, it spawned in the middle, the circle on the start. Okay, and what was the other key? Background color is F. You see, it's changing perfectly. Now, let's see if the sound works. Now, the sound key is L. Let's see, it works perfectly. Okay, I'm not sure if you could hear that. I have a bit of a problem here, but I'm pretty sure that you would heard that. Okay, now let's go back. Now let's see, why did we put this divide by 2 here in both? Let's erase this for a minute. And let's go ahead and save this and execute it again. Enter. Sorry. And run it. See how the circle went to the side. Now, if we didn't put that there, the circle would have been in the middle, as it is canceling out the values from x-axis and y-axis. So that is important. Not that important, but I like to keep it bit. And you can just put it back here. And now let's go to the other code that I said I would tell you what that's for. Okay. Yeah, this one. Let's erase it for a bit. Let's just erase it and run it again. And run. Now, it is in the middle, of course, I wrote that again, but you will see that, okay, oh, I didn't save it, sorry, my bad. It shouldn't have gone, I didn't save it, I'll run it again, oops, I was like, why it's working. Okay, let's run it again, and you're gonna see that it's going out of the boundary, right? We don't want it to go infinitely out of the boundary, and we want it to come back, and we're like, oh shit, it's not coming back, what am I gonna do? Look, it's not going, it's going out of the boundary. So we want to keep it inside the boundary, right? So for keeping it inside the boundary, we're gonna write this code, which is saying, I'll still tell you what it does, what it means. That y-axis, if it's giving us a condition that if y-axis is greater, sorry, is y-axis plus radius is greater than screen height, then y is equal to screen height minus radius. Now when we do this, it means radius will be, the value of radius is 50 as we determine it here. This will make it make its value mathematically to stay inside the 800 by 600 screen and not let it go outside. This is for y-axis, all of this, and this is for x-axis. And of course, you might have noticed that I've written 50 here. You could have written radius here, and it wouldn't have made any difference as we already have the value for radius as 50. Okay, so that's about all from me. Thank you so much for watching.